What is going on, everybody? It is episode 927 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I am here once again with my guest co-host for the week. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. How are we doing today? How is the chat? Are you guys sufficiently crazy so far?
Are they on one today, or are they just living a normal life today?
I don't know. I haven't jumped in yet, but I'm excited to see what kind of anecdotes and debauchery they have for us today.
And the one who makes sure that our chats are always working through the internet. Introduce yourselves.
Yes. I'm Andrew. I'm the IT guy here. Apparently, I wasn't able to help out more, but you know.
Yeah, you were out of town the other day.
Yeah.
Yes. So
worst time.
You were gone the day that it happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So Monday we had, knock on wood, we had issues with OBS, and I'd send Andrew a message, and we had to go through a whole bunch of stuff and
I don't care.
update a whole bunch
here,
of stuff.
man.
He's like, bro, I'm out of here. I'm not
my
working.
problem.
But he was actually like, you were gone the week before, right?
Yeah, I had to get tires because my front left was basically a drag slick, and
winter's coming.
Winter is coming, and I was not going to make it back safely. So
fair enough.
$2,600 later, here I am.
Oh, it's expensive,
man.
Guys, before we get started, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. I wanted to thank each and every one of you who did tune in yesterday to the special Q&A live stream that I did. It ended up being a lot of fun, and honestly, weirdly enough, more work than I thought it was going to be. The
Sounds
whole point
like you're
was
surprised that it was fun, Brett.
Well, I was surprised that it was much work as it was.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like, the idea was, like, they ask questions, I give answers. But then I realized, like, when I'm home and I'm reading the questions, I have the answers in my head. But that's not the same thing as remembering them when you're live, which I tend to be very, very bad at. So I actually did a bunch of, I wrote everything down. I got answers prepared for everything. But then I still went on my, like, over-the-top, dragged on monologues about stuff that I'm sure nobody cares about but me. But I thank each and every one of you who tuned in for that yesterday. I really, really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Also, I want to remind you, as always, it was suspended for yesterday, but we have to get 2 crisis parties today. Mary will not be back, and I know, as I always say,
right.
You don't want to be stuck with me doing this show alone forever. I know you want Mary to come back, so if you want that to happen, we have to get 2 crisis parties today. Otherwise, she's just going to stay wherever she is. She's going to leave and never come back, and I know you guys don't want that.
It'll be your fault.
It's not my fault.
No,
it's
not
your
yours.
fault.
Their fault.
So I'm saying it's not my fault. It's your
right.
fault. The audience. So let's go ahead and get that today, guys. So what are we getting into? Well, cancel Netflix has been trending for the last couple of days now because libs of TikTok made several posts and Elon Musk co-signed those posts criticizing Netflix's decision to introduce gender ideology to your kids, to which all the people who canceled in 2020 because of cuties said first time. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into some of the responses, and we'll talk about that, how it compares to the boycott for Disney that was going on right now because of all the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. So we're going to discuss it. We are also going to talk about, I guess it's not really a topic as much as I heard last night on IRL that they were talking about a boycott of the Super Bowl halftime show because of Bad Bunny, and in trying to host they were kind of positing it as a question, right? And do their own with Creed. I want to talk about that because there were some think piece articles written by the people you would likely expect talking about how Bad Bunny and his distaste for ICE and his hatred of Donald Trump is exactly what we need right now at the Super Bowl.
Bad Bunny has to let you know not only is he going to he's going to be dressed up like a woman, he's going to speak in Spanish and he's going to tell you in Spanish about how much he hates Donald Trump. That's going to be great. I can't wait.
So we're going to talk about that. It's going to be very unifying. Also, Taylor Swift has a new album that drops tonight at midnight. It's one of those rare midnight releases. Target is like keeping stores open to do midnight releases of select stores. And with it comes the release of a new movie that's basically a music video and then behind the scenes footage that's releasing to theaters. And it makes me wonder, is like Taylor Swift what it takes to save the box office these days? Because it certainly feels that way. We got that. We got a bunch of other stuff. If you are ready, guys, we can get started. Phil,
let's go.
He didn't even wait for me to ask.
No.
So you good to go?
Yes, sir.
That's how excited I am.
That's how excited you are?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started then, because there is a bunch of stuff to get into today. Also, I am aware that I say that a bunch. I don't care. That's just my version of Tim saying, let's jump to the next topic as far as I'm concerned.
Timcast action figures that like you press them and they do their catchphrases. That'll be yours.
That's such a good idea. Like little animations on screen that say, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today, but we do. So let's go ahead and get started. So the other day it came out that Donald Trump was once again positing the idea of dropping a 100% tariff on movies in Hollywood. He had this, it's not even a tweet as we know, it's a post on Truth Social as they always are, right? He says, our movie making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries like stealing candy from a baby. California, with its weak and incompetent governor, has been particularly hard hit. Therefore, in order to solve this long-time, never-ending problem, I will be imposing a 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Make America great again. And it's as hyperbolic as it gets, but I want to play this clip here. There's a guy that I watch a lot of. He makes content in Hollywood. He was a reality TV producer. His name's Producer Patrick, and he does these great breakdowns of Hollywood as an industry. And given the fact that he talks about Trump a fair amount, I have to admit he's a pretty reasonable guy because he manages to get through these whole spiels without sounding like annoyed or biased. So let's listen to his take on the matter, or his breakdown of the information.
The president today announced a 100% tariff on all films made outside of the U.S., calling foreign movies a cultural invasion and vowing to bring production back to the United States. Hi, it's producer Patrick bringing you the latest in the ever-evolving film and entertainment industry. Hollywood and global studios were stunned, asking big questions. How do you tax a movie that's streamed? Or not even shipped? And legal experts have already warned against the proclamation, claiming that the tariff can clash with free speech laws and trade treaties. And from the domestic side, U.S. filmmakers could be forced to relocate shoots back to U.S. soil.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Foreign government.
That's his
That's
point,
the point,
right?
yeah.
Instead of been enticing projects with rebates and tax incentives, could likely respond with retaliation, lawsuits, and trade wars. But one big question remains, even if the president signs something, can U.S. Customs or the courts make it stick? This tariff, if in effect, would rewrite the rules of global entertainment and could ripple across Hollywood as well as every screen in America. The drama is just getting started, but as always, would love to hear your thoughts.
So the first thing I thought of was with all the crap that ICE gets because of immigration, those poor customs agents who are just inspecting packages are like, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything. It's not my fault. But okay, so yeah, Gavin Newsom, who's kind of been on a, him and Trump are going toe to toe, and oddly enough, I think that's just trying to set up for 2028. He called this 100% stupid on social media, and in the last year, he has doubled the tax credit program in California to $750 million. I laugh because that's just nothing in the grand scheme of things of what it costs to actually make a movie these days. And look, there's people who are very, very educated on the behind the scenes minutia of what goes on in Hollywood. And I'm really more of a layperson. But when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter if he increases the tax credits because the union costs are so high in the United States for the SAG-AFTRA and the Writers Guild and all of them. And on top of that, it's just expensive to live in California, and the taxes there in general are high. So it doesn't help the below the line workers. And what they're doing is what Trump wants to do is he wants to incentivize everybody to come back here, because when they go to these other countries, mainly a big one is the UK, they get these huge tax credits and the unions are much less restrictive and spend less time meddling within their projects. And the tariff is designed to destroy the money that can be saved from going outside the industry. Does it seem like it's just more of his bluster? Because I don't know how you even tariff a movie. Yeah. You could tariff DVDs, but how do you tariff the movie itself?
Yeah, I honestly don't even know. It's like, I mean, didn't they find a way to tariff software? So I guess
is that true?
I thought they were. I don't know how they would do that in practice because of stuff like, uTorrent and or BitTorrent and stuff like that. So it's like, I just think it's kind of an impossible thing to police. It's like, don't have gay sex. What are you going to do? Go into people's bedrooms?
That's what they're saying. You're hiding them under the floorboards.
Yeah. Right? Like...
Yeah. You're hiding.
So
you're hiding the deviant sexual act under the floorboards.
UK unions are much cheaper and less restrictive, meaning lower minimums for workers and less rigid rules about overtime and less heavy penalties, and I'm not even kidding you, for things like meal break and rest break penalties. So when they don't give you food and they don't give you a break, they're penalized less in the UK than they are in the United States.
Yeah.
And what Trump wants to do is, if he makes the import of these projects so high that they just won't do it, and theoretically they would come back to America and film stuff here, but you would also lose out on a lot of stuff. Like somebody pointed out in one of the comments, like, can you imagine Peter Jackson trying to make Lord of the Rings in America when there just isn't something like New Zealand? I mean, I imagine there isn't any place in America that looks like New Zealand that would really have the ability to give you that landscape to create the shots that they did.
Yeah, I mean, even in like stuff like when you're filming like D-Day, like how are you going? It's such a unique coastline that you need to kind of be at Normandy to film it, right?
AI, man, everything can be done in AI.
I mean,
now.
yeah, I guess so.
We'll
but
fix it in post.
That's what's killing the industry, though. We don't want to fix it in post. I want people to go out into public and actually film in person.
I don't believe that it's killing I don't believe that that's what's killing the industry. There are a lot of people that say that, but I think that it's not that. I don't think that a lack of practical effects or location shots are what's killing the industry. I think that it's the changing of entertainment mediums and the people that are watching the different types of entertainment.
Let me rephrase. I agree with you on those points, that I do believe that those are all things that play a role, but I do think that there is something where, and maybe it's just me because I watch a lot of entertainment, but like when you watch something that was filmed in like a real location, even if there's a lot of CGI painted over that film, it makes a difference as opposed to when they film it in one giant green screen room. There was a movie that came out in like 2023. It was called The Creator by Gareth Edwards, and the CGI looked better than just about everything that was coming out at that time, and far better than anything Marvel has made post Endgame. And the reason for that is they went to physical locations and shot there, and then they did a lot of, blue screen painting over those locations, so everything feels like it's supposed to be there. I want them to be able to move freely to go and do that, and I don't think that this is going to work anyways, because it's the unions in America that are causing the most problems for them. It's not the locations. It's they went through the 2023 contract renewals for everything, and production costs immediately went up because the minimum salaries went up for everybody, and they got all of these guarantees that eventually they're just biding their time, like Phil said, that they just want to incorporate as much AI as possible into everything that they're making, because it allows them to control the process, and they won't have to reach out and use people that are potentially going to be problematic for them down the line, whether it's because of things that they say or their opinions on the union, or they're going to go and start picketing because of Jimmy Kimmel.
Any reason to dump on unions, I am on board there, because I think that unions are just vehicles for communist agitprop, especially when it comes to fields that are not like trades or like working with your hands, like when you're in
but that does exist here.
like
IATSE in this industry, like it's like the lighting technicians, the builders and stuff like that. They are skilled labor.
There is that, but when it comes to like the actors, like acting unions and stuff like that, or like teachers unions and stuff, I think that those are mostly just a means for communist agitprop. And it does, just because I think that the trade unions, and again the people that work with their hands, just because I don't think that those are strictly vehicles for ideological subversion. I do think that they are generally vehicles for ideological subversion.
Do you think there is a path forward to do some type of import fee for something like this, for some type of tariff, or is he just blustering?
I don't
even see that how he could do it. Like, it's just, if I can get the bits of the movie that make up this movie anywhere in the world just from the internet, like how are you going to you're basically tariffing internet traffic at that point, which I don't know how you do.
And my issue with it was more like, people are saying they want to see him do tax credits instead. I'm like, I don't want the federal government giving any tax credits to anyone in Hollywood.
That's a bad idea too.
Like, I don't. Like, if the state wants to do it because it's beneficial to their local economy, I get that. But given how biased Hollywood has been towards the Trump administration, and really any conservative at all whatsoever, I don't want to see any. And I understand that Trump is a pro-business president, and he would likely rather do some type of tax benefit to them to try and bolster business. I get that. That makes sense to me, but it's like he's still pining for their approval when they don't have any interest in being fair to him. They haven't had any interest in being fair to him for some time now. Why not just, give them the stick first and see what they do?
Yeah.
We got a 20 here from
give
Pop
them
Culture
the
Junkie.
stick. End of sentence.
Yes. We got a 20 here from Pop Culture Junkie. Says, trying to tariff foreign filmmaking? There are so many operational, accounting, and production equivalents to use a VPN to cheat Netflix. Unenforceable.
I mean, that's literally what I was saying. It's just, if I can watch something that's not licensed to American Netflix in America, how the fuck are you going to?
Yeah, I mean that is the reason why Netflix and other streaming services have been successful is because it's been cheap enough where it's not worth the effort to go to the Pirate Bay or streaming services. If Spotify suddenly jumped up to $50 a month, they would fall apart and people would just torrent it. Yeah. If Netflix continues to raise their prices, which it seems to be what they're doing, people are going to leave, and that goes for any of these streaming services, right? So whoever they are, if you charge too much money, it becomes a hassle or too much money for people to pay for it, and they're going to go to they're going to go to pirating. The kind of golden spot. Yeah. Is to be cheap enough where people are like, that's fine, and it gives me enough. It's people want their entertainment for almost free, and as long as it's not worth, as long as it's not worth the effort, as long as the money is not worth holding on to, as opposed to the effort that it takes to either learn or to do whatever it is to get the shows you want to watch. They'll stay. But
somebody tell me if this exists, because I have no idea. But the golden spot for me would be, given the rise of people wanting to go back to physical media because of what happens with, there's lawsuits going on right now, people suing Amazon because they're buying things, but then Amazon loses the license to it. Now this show or movie that they bought, they don't have access to anymore because it's not licensed to Amazon anymore.
Infuriating.
What I would like to see, does anybody know, do they make some type of disc space available that you can get a whole season of television on one disc?
Yes.
That exists?
Well,
how common is that?
Not on a CD, but you can, I have a what's called a NAS, network attached storage. Basically, it's just a bunch of hard drives you put into your you hook into your router, and you can access it. If you configure it right, you can access it from anywhere. But I store all my shows, and I even got a Blu-ray ripper to take my Blu-rays.
Well, that's the point. I'm saying they need to be able to sell a season with one disc for people that don't want to do all that. I have an MB server set up with everything that I've bought over the years, and that's fine. And I put it mainly I use that for shows that are not available on any streaming service without buying them again. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to repurchase, and then I don't want to go through discs and re-download them on everything. So I have everything ripped to an MB server. But I'm talking about I want to be able to go and buy a season of a DVD of a show, and it's one disc, because one of the reasons people don't want to do physical media is because then they have to, if it's a full season of a show, they got to put 2 to 4 discs
big box like that.
Yeah, and it's just not practical anymore.
So the thing is with that, it's possible, but not on a disc. More so on a flash drive.
And nobody has DVD players or Blu-ray players anymore.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Well, even so, a Blu-ray or a DVD, part of the reason why they have to do that is because there's just a physical limitation that there's only so much data that you can fit on those things in the Macs. So that's kind of why people started moving away from CDs after floppy disks.
Yeah.
But, it's definitely doable. They just won't.
Yeah, it's
just
not practical.
Don't.
Well, no, because it's like with when you get Adobe now, you don't buy it outright. They sell you a yearly subscription, and then give you a cancellation fee if you cancel early for the year.
Yep. Yeah. I wasn't even out of high school before they started doing that shit.
That's crazy. I'm old enough to remember having to buy Final Cut Pro.
I have a disc with Premiere on it, laying in my house. The thing is, with what you were saying, where people want to own the physical media and bring it back to the piracy stuff. Piracy is making a gigantic comeback because of that alone, because people have realized, if buying isn't owning, then fuck you, piracy isn't stealing.
Yeah.
Like
that's a legitimate argument. Like
No,
if you buy something, quote unquote, buy something from Apple or whoever it is, and you don't actually own it, and they can take it back, or they decide they're not carrying it anymore. There was never a rental agreement or a lease agreement. It was I want this. So the idea that you can't download it. There's one feature that Apple has that's a little frustrating. I wanted to take a clip out of, I think it was Superman. Oh yeah, it was the Man of Steel. At the very end, when he knocks the drone out of the sky, and then he comes down and he says, "I'm from Kansas. That's about as American as you can get," or whatever. I wanted to clip that because I like the idea. I think that American. Like Superman is an American. I think that's important. The idea that he's not an American or that he's a global citizen. I think it's all BS. But I wanted to clip that. You can't screen record on your iPhone.
No.
Anything that's
protected.
that's on your in Apple
I mean,
Music
you'd have to go to
or Apple
YouTube
Video
and you could go to YouTube
Sure.
and grab the clip if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's true, but I mean, it's not that it's impossible. Yeah. It's just that they make it difficult. And to be honest with you, I paid for the video.
Yeah.
Like I paid for it. I bought that. So that should be mine to take clips out of if I want to. But
All right, let's move on. So the communists are back in charge, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly 80 years after McCarthyism, Jane Fonda relaunches the Committee for the First Amendment. Quote, "The stakes are too high." Nope. 8 decades after Hollywood legends like Henry Fonda, Lucille Ball, Humphrey Bogart, Frank Sinatra, and Judy Garland launched the Committee for the First Amendment to stand up to McCarthyism, Jane Fonda is bringing back the organization at a time that she calls the most frightening moment of my life. The younger Fonda issued a plea to her Hollywood community in a letter shared with CNN, asking her peers to join the relaunched committee, writing, quote, "I'm an 87-year-old. I've seen war, repression, protest, backlash. I've been celebrated. I've been branded an enemy of the state. But I can tell you this. This is the most frightening time of my life. When I feel scared, I look to history," Fonda wrote. "I wish there were a secret playbook with all the answers, but there never has been." She went on to underscore the value of solidarity and binding together, finding bravery in numbers too big to ignore, and standing up for one another. Quote, "That's why I believe the time is now to relaunch the Committee for the First Amendment, the same committee my father, Henry Fonda, joined with other artists during the McCarthy era, when so many were silenced or even imprisoned simply for their words and their craft. More than 550 Hollywood actors and agents and celebrities have joined the fight, have joined Fonda's fight, adding their names as supporters of her newly launched committee, with signatories including Aaron Sorkin, Barbara Streisand, Glenn Close, Gracie Abrams, J.J. Abrams, John Legend, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Julianne Moore, Kerry Washington, Larry David, Lily Tomlin, Natalie Portman, and so on and so forth. Oh, and Pedro Pascal was in there.
Of
course. I know you guys love it. Of course.
Restore the Communist Control Act
yes.
of 1953.
The Committee for the First Amendment was first created in 1947 during the McCarthy era in an effort to defend free speech and oppose government activity. At a time, the committee was met with backlash for suspected ties to the Communist Party, which many of its famous Hollywood members balked at. Well, they call her Hanoi Jane for a reason.
Yeah, she was a communist sympathizer. A lot of people forget that the anti-war protesters, or they don't make the connection, that the anti-war protesters in the 60s, they were against the Vietnam War. They weren't so much against the war as they were against the war against communists. It wasn't that they were actually peaceniks, although they did make those arguments. They weren't, particularly pro-peace. It's that they wanted to see communism be a successful, system, and it's just not going to happen.
I guess the way that I've seen it lately is like the right definitely has their pro-war advocates, your rhinos, and now in the current age, there's also a lot of anti-war people that lean more right or have libertarian views that seem to mesh better with right-wing ideas. The left is pro-war whenever the left is in power. Meaning that they got the label of being anti-war, but certainly it's not the same thing as being anti-war on principle as it is Barack Obama's in office, and then suddenly you cover your eyes and you forget everything that happened. 550 actors have signed for this. Look, the whole point of this, it's very simple. It is unbelievably hypocritical given the fact that I recorded a short earlier, like during the bad years, we're talking like 2018 Twitter, 2017 Twitter, all the way up to the point in when Elon bought it, to just the other day, well, they're talking about their love of the First Amendment as they LARP as some type of free speech advocate. They're completely ignoring Alphabet and YouTube and everything that Google has done to censor people, which was admitted under the Biden administration. So this isn't even the argument that they would make with what's going on right now, which is the concept of a company doing what it wants. No, that was actual government overreach that they do not give a shred about. They do not care because it doesn't align with their values. And when they say our democracy, they mean their democracy, not yours, not a constitutional republic. And the problem with it is there's still no, like, look, affiliate networks applied pressure to Disney and to these companies to pull Jimmy Kimmel, and they made it about the FCC because of Brendan Carr's statements, which he made on Benny Johnson. And I do think that Trump's tweets at that time are stupid and end up making him more of a target than he already was, given the fact that it doesn't look, according to both Sinclair and Nexstar, there was no pressure from the FCC that caused them to take their actions. They made that clear in their statements when they brought Jimmy Kimmel back. But you gave them the impetus to launch campaigns like this, and it's the most infuriating thing, because all you're looking for is a little bit of intellectual consistency, a little bit of intellectual honesty, and I don't think you're going to get it.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to get it. I'm curious if you, so I asked you, Phil, I said, like, do you know anything about, like, the Red Scare? Because, like, I saw Trumbo. That's, I saw Trumbo. I know that. I know everything. I know a little bit about Hanoi Jane and everything with her traveling to Vietnam. The famous picture on the anti-aircraft vehicle that was apparently used to shoot at American soldiers and all of that. And it's like they can't help but offer these theatrics that don't comport with reality.
Yeah. So the Red Scare didn't go far enough, and McCarthy was right. So whether or not you think that McCarthy was doing something moral is different, but he was correct about the threat of communism and the number of communists in the country. There's a ton, and there still is. There's far too many communists in the United States. We've allowed too many people that are communists to come into the United States. The communists of the 70s all went into academia, and that's part of why you have so many communists coming out of schools today, out of colleges today, because these people went into academia and we allowed them to go in and then take over the schools and take over the curriculum. They took over the schools of education. So the schools that teach teachers, all the curriculum that teachers get, it's all based on Marxist teachings. It's all Paulo Freire and all sorts of leftist gobbledygook. And you're seeing it in society today. And the results are things like, Antifa firebombing federal buildings. Yeah. That's what it ends up becoming.
So, asked for comment, the White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson referred to Fonda by her decades-old Vietnam War nickname. Hanoi Jane is free to share whatever bad opinion she wants. As someone who actually knows what it's like to be censored, President Trump is a strong supporter of free speech, and Democratic allegations to the contrary are so false it's laughable. Jackson added that Trump is targeting left-wing organizations that have fueled violent riots, organized attacks against law enforcement, coordinated illegal doxing campaigns, arranged drop points for weapons and riot materials, and incited violence across the United States. The other thing that I was going to say is, like,
everything that Trump is accusing is saying that they've done is true.
Yeah,
they've done all of it.
I mean, the other thing I was like, is what did they say during 2020 when your cities were burning? They said to defund the police. As she says right there. They said to defund the police. Again, I think it's a language thing, that a big part of this is that they don't have any interest in free speech, and they don't really see people that disagree with them as human beings in a lot of ways. I don't think they do. I think they see their worldview as the only worldview that works in a functional way, because they have this sense of superiority and what they believe is an empathetic view of the world that is superior to people who take a different view. And look, it's funneled through these actors. It's funneled through the Pedro Pascals. It's funneled through the J.J. Abrams and their storytelling. And that's how it gets into the minds of everyday people. I would like the first thing I thought about was like, if you want to talk about censorship, what I would have liked to see her do is reach across the proverbial aisle to somebody that takes a more conservative view of the world and ask them to stand up for free speech with them and see if you could even stand in the same room as someone you disagree with to bring up the concept of free speech. Are you going to extend that to Mel Gibson?
No.
I don't think you are.
No, they will not.
Like, I don't think you are. Mel Gibson's longevity in Hollywood is purely because he is a unbelievably good businessman and is a strong producer in the industry, which means they cannot ignore him. But if he didn't have those abilities, he would be relegated and ghettoized to faith-based films that are low budget and garbage, and he wouldn't be able to make things like Passion of the Christ or even Passion of the Christ 2 Electric Boogaloo, which is coming out. That's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. He wouldn't be able to make The Resurrection if it wasn't for the fact that he is as successful in the industry as he is. But years ago, Robert Downey Jr. went on stage at an award show and said he asked for grace to be given to Mel Gibson, because Mel Gibson stood up for him when he was at his worst. And did they care? No, they didn't care. Nothing ever returned to normal. And the same people that are writing these articles about this are the ones that are trashing the people that disagree with them. So do they necessarily believe in free speech? I can't say for sure, but I know for a fact that they're not going to take a principled stance on free speech when it comes back around to bite the person they disagree with. When we talked about Brendan Carr and the FCC and Trump, I said, look, I want to see the evidence. If there is an email from Brendan Carr to the head of Sinclair or the head of Nexstar, and it's some type of threat to them to do this, you should absolutely call that out, and you should be appalled by that. There is more than enough to criticize Donald Trump in this administration on. Absolutely, 110%. But I don't want to see actors who have never had an analytical bone in their body suddenly pretend to stand up and protest outside with their free speech signs.
Well, it's like, for me, I inherently can't believe or trust someone whose entire like career and like job it is to not be themselves. Like, and they're really fucking good at it.
I mean, look, it's their job, like I said, but that was Mel Gibson's job too. Like, I have to go by what they say when they're not acting. Like,
well,
I get what you're saying. Like, I get the critique that, I mean, that's why I think a lot of them fall in line so well with leftist or liberal policies, is they're very, very emotionally based because they're empathetic. They have to use a lot of empathy to try and get into these characters and act in a way that brings the character to life, even if it's nothing like them on the outsides. A lot of time I think they're more like blank slates than anything else. But look, Jane Fonda also decries Trump going into cities and, you know, bringing law enforcement into cities. I noticed, like I said, I just saw your name on a list there to defund the police. So you didn't care about the cities when they were burning to the ground in 2020. It didn't matter to you then, so why does it suddenly matter now? She also talked about having a political action committee based around climate change. I'm like, could you be more divorced from the average everyday person? You
ridiculous.
Could not.
Yeah.
Totally ridiculous.
Is there like an actor that you guys like who's like for me, one of the most important things for me is like, because I love movies and TV so much, I can watch a movie with any one of those names and it won't bother me. Like it doesn't bother me to watch even the ones with the worst opinions. I like John Leguizamo as an actor, even if he's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't bother me. Does that stuff bother you, or is there like an actor that it doesn't bother you about?
I mean, I generally try and like separate the art from the artist, because it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, not always, or most of the time, they're not making the piece. Like, they're playing a part that was given to them. So like, I kind of give it the benefit of the doubt there. But you know, like,
you mean like if they're acting in roles that annoy you? I mean, yeah, that's
yeah. I mean, even so, but like, it goes the other way too. When they say things that in real life and they're just a bad, like, an amoral human being, and they play a part that's really good, like, you know, I'm not going to look the other, or I'm going to look the other way about it, because it's just like, okay, well, you did your job very well.
It's never bothered me when they have like if an actor goes and does a role with a bunch of stuff that I disagree with, that doesn't like that. It's their job to go out and find work. Like it's if you're working like in that business is entirely freelance. It's not an easy business to work in, so I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's also why I point out, like, whenever you do see a movie, like, whenever Angel Studios makes a movie, I'm like, don't assume that means those actors, that all of them agree with you. Yes, the Neil McDonoughs likely share a similar worldview to you, but a lot of them, they're going to take whatever work they can get because it's such a hard industry to find work in.
Yeah, I mean, money's always green, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really enjoy Rage Against the Machine's music.
Yeah.
Their politics are absolute garbage. The only time I have a problem with an actor when it comes to like in the movie is if they have an influence on the writing and it makes something, you know, put something in their cringe. Like I like Mark Ruffalo in the Avengers movies, right? Like I know that I hate his politics and he's a ridiculous person, but I like him as Banner. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather see Edward Norton, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that Hulk better, but it doesn't bother me when there are people that have different opinions. That being said, the people that do have a problem knowing that an actor or whatever has a different opinion tend to be people on the left. They're the same people that are like, oh, I can't be friends with that person anymore. They're the same people that are just like, well, I had to cut these people off from my life.
Conservative. I mean, we're going to talk about it too later with like Netflix and stuff like that. It does happen on the right. Like the right has to by nature be more willing to watch stuff from people they disagree with. Otherwise, there'd be nothing. They'd be watching nothing but Angel Studios movies and Joel Osteen speeches.
But it's all no. I disagree, and the reason is, first of all, it's far less frequent. First of all, and second of all, like. For the right, not everything is political. Like the right does have the ability to say, well, this show isn't political. I don't take this as a political message. The left is far more likely to see something and say, that is just an artifact of our heteronormative capitalist patriarchy, and it causes me problems, and I'm going to have an issue about it. I
get comments on the channel all the time because I post a lot of positive stuff about. I post all the time about stuff I like. I posted about high potential doing well, but what I see a lot of the time, they say like it's demonic. I want nothing to do with it.
Look at the context. Just because of the fact that your show is on Timcast Media means that people that are going to be looking at your stuff are a little more politically sensitive.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that those people exist on both sides.
They do, but there are far more people on the left. There are people. You can have something that is not politically motivated, right? And people on the left will find things in it that set off their political radar, whatever, and they'll feel like, oh, this is something, because they look at our society and they say we're a heteronormative capitalist patriarchy, etc. Whereas people that don't have a left-leaning political motivation can watch a show and they'll be like, well, that's just about our society. People that are on the left that have a problem with our society, people that go out and protest, people that are politically active on the left, they have a problem with our society and things that we consider normal. So they're going to be more vocal about things that to your average person would say is normal. That at least that's the way it's been for a large portion of our history. Obviously, lately, the media and Hollywood has been kind of doing like, oh, there we go.
Thank you. That's one.
Damn,
thank you.
Kind of scared the shit.
Yeah. It's worse if you don't have headphones on. It's way worse if you don't have headphones on.
And like I wouldn't, if it wasn't for the
it drowns it out.
Party, I wouldn't.
Okay. I get your point.
You know
I get your point. I just, at least for me, maybe it's the bubble that I'm in here, but I just a lot of times when I post stuff that's not political at all about shows and movies, they're just like, I can't do it. I can't watch any of it because I just don't have any faith in the industry anymore. And I get that. But I think it's an issue that both sides have, depending on how politically brained you are, it's going to ruin your ability to enjoy certain things. Like, for instance, I was watching Chad Powers last night. It's not very good. And so it's this show that was written by Glenn Powell. As far as I know, he wrote and created the show. And he's just an uber douchebag of the show. That's the point of the character, right? He's an ultra douchebag, and he drives a Cybertruck. And I'm like, gee, I wonder why. And he talks about crypto. I wonder why. And it's in everything. And I pine for the day. The part of this is because the genre isn't one that I prefer. I don't like comedies where every character is just an awful person. Like, that's just not the type of stuff that I like to watch. But it's just very clear what the writer's perspective was on that. But that's just me. All right, we had a 20 that I missed here from Shane H. Wilder. Thank you, buddy. Said, nobody has a Blu-ray player? Dog, I've got a Blu-ray player, CD player, and record player. Hell, I bought a new Blu-ray movie last week. If the internet goes down, I still got ish to watch and listen to.
Well, Shane's no G.
Yeah, you gotta have the. I have external hard drives of television shows.
Me too.
Stuff. Yeah, that's what I have, and I can technically watch those without the internet because I can just put it on in the background. All right, what would you guys like? Well, we know Phil wants to see cringe first. Today's is bad, and it wasn't. I got it at the last minute. Olivia sent it to me. She goes, "This is the uber cringe." It's bad. Just to preface, here we go.
Embrace your age if you dare. Do a wheelie in that wheelchair. Go, geriatrics, go. Hey, forget that Botox. We're not freezing time. Hey, let them wrinkles be, doll. You're one of a kind. Got that turkey neck. Gobble, 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 gobble. Let that loose skin go. Let it wobble, wobble, wobble. Your breath take 5. I get it, Pops. Give me a high five. If you're feeling it and you're over 75, can't hear the bass.
You can't rhyme 5 with 5.
Yeah.
But you feel the vibe. Old folks in the house still staying alive. Embrace.
Why did you do that to me?
I don't believe in divorce, but if I did, Olivia. Oh my goodness.
No way, she's helping, man.
Yes, she is. She's and again, chat, if you have a problem with the cringe, it's Olivia's fault, not mine. Address all comments and concerns to her. I had nothing to do with it. You can't blame me. It wasn't me. It's not my fault. That was really bad. All right.
It was so bad.
Cue to the day. This is a palate cleanser here. This one is from S on X. Here is my Roxy dog.
Oh,
Nice.
Rocky Doggy. She is such a sweetheart, isn't she? Look at how adorable that dog is.
It's a boating dog.
Yeah, she's an aqua dog. Yeah.
Does the dog go in the water? Does it like to swim?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sarah actually has a picture of her. She was swimming in a canyon, and Rocky's like on her back.
Oh, that's
She's
awesome.
like Rocky. She's taking a selfie with Rocky on her back. But adorable dog, isn't she? Isn't she just the sweetest little thing?
It's very cute. All right, let's do one more here. This one's from Jordan Lee. Jordan Lee says, Brett, her name is Honey, and she loves to sit on the top of the couch so that she can watch her TV and keep an eye on the door. Cute.
Adorable.
That's a very cute
Doggies.
dog. I make sure that dogs are available whenever Phil's on because Phil doesn't want to see other animals. He wants to see the puppies, and that's okay.
It's not that I don't want to, but I do have a strong preference to dogs over cats. I saw this tweet, and I should have sent it, but someone had pictures or a video of armadillos being adorable. I'm like, I didn't know armadillos could be adorable, but apparently they can.
Yeah, there you go. You a dog person or a cat person?
More of a cat person, but I just I've always grown up with animals, so it's like.
You always had pets?
Yeah. I mean, up until recently we had 6, so.
That's so many.
Yeah, we're running a zoo.
We have 3 cats, and that's like the max for me.
Yeah, until you get 3 more, and then you're like, oh, hang on, wait a second. I didn't hit my limit yet.
Then you don't have anything clean in your house because they've peed on everything.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? So, just the other day, we were doing the show, and my X page started blowing up, and I was wondering, what is all the stuff that's going on right now? Well, Elon Musk seems to have declared war on Netflix. He was going off. He was doing this in tandem with Libs of TikTok, who was posting clips from shows like Dead End, Paranormal Park. There's a whole slew of Netflix Netflix animated series that they are being shown to have pushed gender ideology on kids. Most of these shows actually aired between the years 2021 and 2023. It's not like these were things that were coming out right now. And conservatives will understand what we're talking about because it wasn't that long ago that everybody was up in arms about the grossness that was Cuties and everything that came out with Cuties and all of the videos that were made. It was almost in line with the way that Sound of Freedom was boycotted by the other side, and they made it out to be some like right-wing conspiracy movie, whereas people on the right were like, no, we're going to boycott Cuties because it's effing disgusting. And all of the people who need to have their hard drive checks came out of the woodwork during that. And they also showed things that exposed anti-white discrimination at Netflix. They showed that a large portion, at least according to the survey, 100% of their donation from employees went to Democrat politicians, of course. But let's play I'm going to play the 6-second clip here so you can get an idea of what started all of this. I can't play probably any more than that because they're going to get very litigious with everyone. But this says, OMG, Dead End Paranormal Park, a show on Netflix is pushing transgenderism on children. This show is advertised for 7 years old. It's being promoted on Netflix Kids right now. So here's what it is.
It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows.
Said, I'm trans, Norma. So, right there.
And no, really?
Everyone at school knows and everybody knows because you won't shut the hell up about it.
Yeah.
You don't actually pass.
So this was the thing. So the creator of the show is someone named Hamish Steele, and of course has a Blue Sky account, and was immediately shown to have spoken very, very negatively and disgustingly about Charlie Kirk. Of course, because it's like, why wouldn't that be?
Because
exactly what happens?
People that are like the extreme LGBT groups, they take Christianity as a personal insult.
Yeah,
like you're a Christian. I took that personally, like the Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan meme.
Yeah. And so all of this stuff came out, and everybody started going about with canceling their Netflix subscriptions. And it made me think about what was going on over at beyond just the political donations. Look, Ted Sarandos met with Trump right before Trump actually entered office, after the election, before he entered office. And Netflix stock dropped 2.3%. They have a market cap of $509 billion. So I saw numbers that ranged anywhere from $15 billion to $20 billion of money lost by Netflix. It's funny because just the other day I was seeing, Disney was going through their own debacle with Jimmy Kimmel, and people on the left where reportedly 1.7 million people canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions. That was reported by like a blog called The Handbasket, and they framed it as government overreach, and they cited insiders at Disney. Outside of seeing some type of memo that shows them actually losing that amount of subscribers, they don't even report their subscriber numbers anymore, so I don't even know, assuming that they have that insider, that they would be able to have somebody to track that, but I don't buy it. And look, 2.3%. Netflix is $500 billion in market cap. It's up 45% this year, year to date. These companies are very, very hard to make a dent in.
Yeah, they're too big.
They're like, do you think that's possible? Are these companies too big to fail?
Maybe.
Probably Disney's foray into streaming is because they own like three streaming services, so it's like,
well, yeah, I mean now they're moving Hulu over there because they finally bought out the last stake in Hulu too, so they own that as well.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how they were allowed to do that, but whatever.
You think that's
it's definitely a monopoly.
That's a monopoly?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Dude, Microsoft got hit with that because they made you use Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
This is way worse.
Internet Explorer, the search engine or the browser used exclusively to download other
Chrome,
browsers.
Yeah.
Exactly. They posted this as well. Again, beware any and all infographics. It doesn't mean that it's 110% true. I don't trust literally anything that I see on the internet anymore. But it's not like it doesn't have the air of something that you'd buy. Does anybody watch Netflix and think for a minute that there's a lot of conservative voices over there talking? Nobody buys that. Nobody buys that whatsoever. And then one of the actors involved in the show also got into the fray and spoke about it. Said, hey, I play Barney. I'm trans and have been out for 10 years. I'm happier than I've ever been. And if someone had shown me this television program as a kid, it would have saved me years of hating myself. You can fearmonger all you want, but kids and parents have told me that it saves lives.
I don't buy it one bit.
You don't buy it?
No,
Barney,
no.
Purple dinosaur?
Barney is the character's name.
Oh, in that
Barney,
show.
yeah, Barney is the Barney.
Oh,
is the
so they just
character's name.
made it about themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what a great percentage of ideologically focused television is self-insert.
Oh, yeah.
And the biggest complaint, the biggest proof of that is that the creator of this show, Hamish Steele, he had 2 credits to his name, and this was his first major credit, was being given the reins to helm and create an entire show for $1 billion company, and that only happens when it's ideologically involved. They're not doing that with the big property. Like even Star Wars is going to do it for the television shows, but the movies, not to the same extent. Is Jon Favreau directing Mandalorian and Grogu? But in general, they'll give them the television shows to direct because it's basically a write-off for them. But, you're still going to want the higher name directors if you want them to do the properties that are actually supposed to make you money. Marvel learned the hard way in phase 4 and 5 that you don't just give big budget movies to people that don't know what they're doing, and they're still suffering because of it. But Netflix hasn't learned their lesson in that respect, and there's been a lot of responses to this as well. So I saw this was the one that I think went beyond just the comments that were made by libs of TikTok and then Elon Musk. Look, Elon Musk has 270 million followers on X or something like that. So when he sends out a text that says cancel Netflix, it actually moves market value, and then you have to start opening articles from Barron's to get access reports for stuff like this. But this was the one that I saw the most of from someone named Matt Van Swole. Says, just canceled my Netflix subscription. If you employ people who celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk and make content that pushes pro-trans content on my kids, you will never get a dime of my money. It's as simple as that. Then we have this here. He also says, Brian Krasenstein claimed he upgraded his Netflix subscription to fight for free speech, but he used a year-old screenshot of pricing that literally doesn't exist anymore. Fake posture, fake receipts, fake outrage.
No, that dude probably pirates all his shows.
He probably does.
This here from Matthew Marsden. He says, here's the problem, Elon. It's not just them. It is the content creators. You have to get the nod from the producers, writers, directors, actors, and the studio execs to get something like this made. It's a systemic problem. If you cancel Netflix, they will just go to another distributor. By all means, we should do it, but we need to do more. We need to build an alternative and use different creatives to make the shows. That's the way you stop the woke mind virus. There are people out there who can do this who aren't funded by the right. And we have more here from Rob Schneider. Says, Dear Elon Musk, thank you for standing up against the evil trans indoctrination programming our children on Netflix and Disney. You can imagine if you bought $1 billion in stock in Utah-based Angel Studios, the wonderful tradition Christian company with American values. What an incredible statement that would make to all of these so-called entertainment companies. Look, Angel Studios did just go public.
Did they?
Yes, they just released a public offering, I think in tandem with another company, which was providing seed funding or something like that. It was not a traditional opening.
It was like an SPAC, right?
Maybe that sounds right, but that was all recently. And I guess for me, a big part of this is like, it's going to be harder for people on the left who canceled their Disney Plus subscription. Now, this is where I agree with you, Phil. It will be harder for people on the left to cancel their Disney Plus subscription and stay away from Disney than it will be for people on the right to cancel Netflix and stay away from Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is like, the juggernaut of the streaming industry because they've been around for so long. Yeah. So it's like, what are you going to do?
It's synonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, it felt coordinated in a way. Like suddenly it had blown up across the platform. Marjorie Taylor Greene is pushing like a bill for all of this, and I wonder where the funding is. They're right about all of it, but it makes me wonder like how organic things like this even are these days. A lot of it just because it's coming through X and social media. Like, does that make sense to me? It's like it was nowhere, and then the show was over, and
Especially
it was literally everything in my feed.
Especially if the shows have been there for like 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Clownfish TV has been covering this stuff and what Netflix has been doing with their animation division and trans ideology for years. And then suddenly it wasn't just those shows. They listed a bunch of other shows as well. The Babysitters Club, Strawberry Shortcake, Monster High, all of these other things that have been out since 2021. And it's nothing new. It's like what incites something to just blow up again out of nowhere?
Distractions.
I mean, is that what it is? Is just people need something to argue about? Like, I do believe that
will argue over.
I do believe that the anger is real, and I do believe that most of these people didn't know that it was going on.
Oh, yeah.
But they did know what was going on with cuties. Are you telling me that if you were a conservative influencer or pundit in 2020, you didn't catch that as well?
Like, I didn't explicitly know what was going on, but like I just assumed it. Like, you know, it's not surprising to me. The bigger thing to me is like when people get outraged about this, it's usually people that like are more inclined to just have a set it and forget it mindset about what their kids and like what content they consume. And it's just like, if you're that worried about it, be a fucking parent. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Like,
I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Well, the point they were saying is like this was being advertised on Netflix Kids. So theoretically, the reason they make those kids platforms for these for these streaming services is the parents, the parents that aren't paying close attention and be like, oh, it's the kids section. It's just going to be Coco Melon. And even that has come out. There have been things revealed about Coco Melon.
So, I mean, look, all of the stuff that people are concerned about is legitimate.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it boils down to you need to be involved in your children's lives. You need to pay attention to what they're watching. You have to watch it before they watch it sometimes, right? Like if you're not sure about something, or if it's coming from Netflix or a production house that is not actually kid friendly, because I don't think this stuff counts as kid friendly. So if it's not coming from some place that you already know shares your values, you need to watch it. And then if it's okay for them, then go ahead and let them watch it. If not, then don't watch it on 2x speed. Right? Yeah. Like you can speed stuff up. You don't have to sit there and like enjoy it and be like, man, I really need to know the in-depth blah, blah, blah about these characters. But you need to be a parent. And guess what? Being a parent is more than just like sticking an iPad in your kid's lap.
Well, I mean, in the free market is what they're trying to let decide this year. They're not saying that the government needs to come in and ban them. They're saying cancel your subscription and force them to change. Yeah, not yet. They're saying cancel your subscription, and theoretically that will get them to change how they do business. But it's not likely to get these shows pulled off those platforms.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree. They're looking for some kind of market solution, but the fact of the matter is, this is just like when you're dealing with adult themed TV shows or adult themed cartoons. Like, I don't know if I imagine most of the viewers, well, some of the viewers don't, but like, you're not going to put heavy metal in front of your kids because it's cartoons. It's all adult themes. It's all, there's all kinds of sexual stuff in it. So that's stuff that you don't, those cartoons aren't for kids. You just have to know what the cartoons are actually offering. And just because they say, hey, this is for kids, blah, 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 doesn't mean that the content is actually something that you feel your child should be watching.
I will say that a lot of the times, if you go look at a show.
There's a $20 one from Dr. Larsena. If leftists keep doubling down on calling mainstream Republicans racist, is there any good reason not to respond in kind by calling them groomers? Anything less seems like unilateral rhetorical disarmament to me. Look, that's legitimately what we're seeing now, right? Like, there has been so much time where the left has thrown baseless accusations at people. Not only are there people on the right that are responding by, insulting in ways that are, extremely distasteful to the left, but also they're starting to think, I don't care what you call me. And I think that that's more important than anything else. Stop worrying about what the left calls you. You know you're not a racist, then don't worry about it. You know, you know that you're not a Nazi. I mean,
Well,
it's pretty,
all of those-
pretty easy to figure out if you're vegan, right?
Those are both, like, those terms are so 5 years ago. Remember, you're all fascists now.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to be honest with you, which is kind of dumb because, like, to going from Nazi to fascist, that's actually taking a step back.
Yeah.
Because Nazis are a certain selective, specific type of fascist. Like, being a fascist is like, it's definitely not worse than being a communist.
You know, the trains run on time.
Generally, yeah, they do, you know?
I just want to point out again, guys, if you want to know the places where ideology is definitely going to come first, look at a lot of the shows that are being created by people who seemingly have no actual pedigree in the industry. If they've got 2 credits to their name and suddenly they've been given the reins to something that costs millions upon millions of dollars to make, it's either because they're looking to meet quotas to get up numbers like stuff like this, which it says, this was from Libs of TikTok as well, Netflix appears to openly boast about discriminating against white people. In their inclusion and diversity report, they celebrate that the percentage of racially underrepresented directors and lead characters has been growing significantly over the past few years. Now, it doesn't just have to be a racial thing. The point here is that they will put ideology first. They will often hire those same people and a white director if they know that they're going to push the message that they want pushed in these films. The ones that have no credits to their name, have no reasonable expectation to deliver a good product, you can understand that it is very likely something that was created with ideology first and entertainment second. And that sucks because, you know, well, I always make the joke. I'm like, look, the propaganda was just better back in the day. It was like, say what you want, but the propaganda from the media at least went down easier when it was written by people that were more competent at their job. And I'd even be willing to say that, like, look, I went off on this rant yesterday about this show called Murder in a Small Town, which I actually quite liked the first season of, but there's these poorly written side characters that it feels like are being written by somebody completely different from the rest of the show. And I was just melting down over this annoying bit of stupid not even good feminism, stupid feminism, not well-written characters that happen to be women, but just stupid feminism. And the point there is that 10 years ago, they would have been able to write those characters not even 10 years ago, it'd be longer than that now. Yeah. 15 years ago, they would have been able to write those characters in a far more in a far more deft manner. It would have been less obvious and more fun to the viewers, but instead you get stuck with the garbage that we have these days. And frankly, I'm over it and a lot of other people are over it. And just pay attention to what your kids are watching. Make sure that the things that you show them align with your values. And if they don't, move on to the next one and cancel those subscriptions, because very likely they're going to continue to make stuff like that if that's what you want to do. All right. We got a bunch of other stuff to get into. See, there, I said it. Okay. All right. First of all, I want to get your opinions on what everybody has been saying lately about. We talked on Monday about Bad Bunny being named the host or the leading act for the Super Bowl halftime show. And then everybody went up in arms about whether that was a good choice of somebody to host the halftime show. And I saw last night people talking about what they should do is they should go ahead and they should have like Turning Point host like their own version of the Super Bowl halftime show and have it starring Creed. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
I mean, hey, yeah. Get an actual, band in there to do a halftime performance. Like back in the good old days.
The thing I thought was funniest is like, can you imagine Creed's like, I don't want to be the no, leave me out. Like, not to say that they wouldn't do it, but they're like, bro, I don't just leave me out of it. Like, what's going on in politics? I don't know what Scott Stapp's political opinions are, but like, I'm guessing that they don't want to be turned into fodder for those types of things. And look, I would love to watch that show. I do think Weird Al is the Super Bowl halftime show that we all truly deserved. Yeah. But look, they tried to get Taylor Swift first, but she's so popular popular that she came with so many demands that they wouldn't capitulate. Basically, she said she wanted to retain the ownership of the performance, and she wanted to have multiple spots on the show to like advertise her products.
Because Taylor Swift needs an ad, right?
Well, I mean, the thing is, the Super Bowl gets 100 million viewers, like something like that.
It's a lot of viewers.
They didn't need her. She's the only artist in the world that theoretically doesn't need them. So then you get what we get now. And some might boycott the halftime show, or at the very least will tune out at the halftime show and watch the rest of the game. But I feel like this is one of those things where the right will lose their more middle-of-the-road fan, the more middle-of-the-road supporters, because a lot of people, they're just not willing to sacrifice the creature comforts or the things they love, like football, to make a statement about Bad Bunny.
Yeah, because the Super Bowl's one night at the end of the season, whereas football season's, like 30 weeks, something like that?
And Super Bowl and the NFL has been quote-unquote woke for a long time.
They all have been. Like, it's why are you mad at the scorpion for stinging you?
Yeah. And I guess, like, this is just... When this got announced, it didn't shock me because Bad Bunny is a huge artist worldwide. I still think that that's not necessarily the right explanation as to why he should be the halftime show. You can be the biggest artist in the world. It doesn't necessarily mean you're the right fit for that place. Does that make sense?
Kendrick.
Yes.
Like Kendrick Lamar, but at the same time, Dr. Dre, perfect.
Oh yeah,
Eminem, perfect. Made perfect sense to me. But not everybody is the right fit for everything, even if they're, something of equivalent size. And it blew up. And I guess maybe it's just because you spend so much time on social media, but every cultural event, every media company like Disney and Netflix, every aspect of American culture is divided along these lines. And I'm just exhausted. Like, I'm literally just exhausted. I'm just exhausted. Do you ever does that happen to you? Do you just get exhausted with all of this stuff?
Yeah.
Phil, do you, you tweet more than me, and you're very, very vocal about your beliefs. Like, do you ever just get exhausted by everything?
I mean, no. I mean, it's just when I'm tweeting about stuff, like, it's usually just because I find it ridiculous, And I know I tweet a whole ton, and so I find a lot of things ridiculous. Fair point. Stuff like a lot of the more pop culture-y kind of stuff doesn't really bother me because I just kind of expect it. So I'm more interested in the political side of stuff. So I wish that they put better artists or more relevant artists in the Super Bowl and stuff. I mean, everybody every year is like, why haven't you tried to get Metallica? Like, they're the biggest band ever, and it would be great to see an actual heavy metal band there. And their last time, the last time they had a hard rock band was like 13 years ago, or I'm sorry, a rock band, a rock artist was like 13 years ago. So it's like, look, at some point it's like, man, but I mean, I it doesn't really bother me that much because I'm not gonna pay attention to the halftime show anyways. I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna hang out with friends. We'll probably do something here, and that's what I'll do for the Super Bowl. I'll
tell you where my exhaustion came from. There was this fake article. It's linked in this post here that claimed that Dallas Cowboys petitioned to replace Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl in 2026. Jerry Jones threatens player strike. And it's not real. It's fake. It's done for engagement to monetize your anger at Bad Bunny and the NFL. And I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted at the monetization of all of it. I'm exhausted with trying to look at all of it critically and as objectively as a person is capable of doing so, and seeing stuff like this where I'm just like, does anybody take a day off?
Yeah.
No,
they don't.
Well, I mean, see, people do take days off, but there's so many people that are involved in this kind of conversation that there's always somebody like on post ready to be outraged. I'm maybe it's just me, but it's like, I remember somebody saying, and I think I've mentioned this on air before, and I don't know if this was actually a real quote or not, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But they said that it was either Mike Cernovich or Molyneux who said, like, I wish I could vomit up the red pill.
And there are days where I 110% would like to vomit up everything that I've learned and everything that I now am able to see and know is happening and understand where the divides are, where everybody stands ideologically, the ways in which it's infected our media, our entertainment, the things we used to use as an escape from the real world. And I wish I could just go back to that view of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I was that weird kid that watched, cable news after school, so I've just kind of like always been in it, and I guess I'm more used to it, just like hearing a bunch of shit go around. But at the same time, I think more so it's like we're getting exhausted because, especially us in this space, like people have been complaining about this for years, and at a certain point I'm starting to wonder if we're just manufacturing things to like you said, that was fake, but like, there could be a real one that comes out, someone trying to just manufacture dissent just to get money, like you said.
Well, it's like the moment, and Mary was really 100% right about this. Like the monetization of X was one of the worst things to happen to discourse.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I agree with that. And there's so many takes that are just like, so many people have like such cynical takes where it's just like, oh, this is the worst thing. Oh, this is the worst thing. And it's like, it's not the worst thing.
What do you mean? Like,
I just don't like the idea that X is like, I don't think that the monetization of X actually has made X significantly worse. Like at all. I think that X has always been the comment section for life. That's exactly what it is. That's what it's been forever, right? Like, in the very beginning, the first couple years, people start complaining about the things that bother them. And that's what X is. Now, granted, you can monetize that and you can make money off of it, but I don't see how, I genuinely do not think that it is worse now than it was 10 years ago. It is, to me, generally the same platform.
There's a 20 here from Dr. Larcena says, unfortunately, commie has been so watered down by the urban monoculture that it has lost all resonance. Groomer is the only thing left that I can think of that has enough punch left to matter. Open to suggestions. Well, I think also it's not even that the word communist has been watered down. It's that the children of today, and really the children of my era, were not raised to look at communism with the same level of disdain that they're raised to look at Nazism. They aren't, and they should be, because both ideologies are evil, but they're not raised to fear what happened in past communist regimes, because they're not taught about it in the same way that they're taught about World War II.
Maybe, yeah.
As for look, I saw the post the other day. So there's this picture that goes viral every couple of years. Maybe you've seen it. He's kind of a bigger guy. He's like a bigger teenage guy. And he's got a picture like going to homecoming with a girl who's like young. She's probably like the most popular girl in her class. And it's this long written story about how he was told, like people like told him to go ask her out, thinking that they were going to humiliate him and she was going to say no. And it's designed as this like, look what happens to bullies. They get their comeuppance because she said yes, and they go. And it's rewritten every couple of years with a new name and new people on it. It's not real. It's a game of telephone around something that was posted probably a decade ago. And then under in the comments, somebody will inevitably say, I've seen 5 versions of this story with this picture, and none of it's real. And the world just we seem to be getting less and less tethered to reality the more time we spend with stuff that angers us online. And I think politics just gives us a unique sort of inflection point in which to get into it, so that, and look, the NFL has their role in this too, that started all of this. They talk about it here. Amiri King says, he talks about how the NFL has donated over $300 million to anti-white social justice initiatives. In 2020, they added the Lift Every Voice and Sing, which was the Black national anthem, which is, of course, very controversial. There was Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, how that compared to Tim Tebow and what he used to do, and all of this stuff. It's they put end racism in the end zone, as if that's going to solve the problem of society. So everybody's in it, and it makes them a ton of money to talk about this stuff all the time. And maybe I'm just pontificating here. I'm just exhausted by all of it. I'm like, I don't have it in me to care if Bad Bunny hosts the halftime show or not. I get it. I get where the discussion comes from, but it's like a pick your battles thing for me.
Yeah, like what are you going to change in the next 4 months? The contract's probably already been like signed.
I don't know. Like Phil would know more about that. Like when
it's already probably set in stone, right?
He was locked in before he was definitely locked in before they announced. Absolutely.
Like how long in advance do you think that would have had to been?
I imagine probably a year.
And they don't get paid for that, right? Like they
idea.
don't. As far as I know, the act
like
doesn't get paid. Yeah,
thing.
they're just basically like you're going to get put in front of 100 million people. That's your payment for doing that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that the NFL just wants more, something to talk about in the offseason. It really does launch them into the offseason with something to keep the NFL. Like after the Super Bowl last year, everyone was talking about what the Kendrick Lamar halftime show meant. And Serena Williams crip walking, and whether he would call Drake a pedophile or not.
That was the compelling part of the
it was the best
halftime show last year. Was whether or not he was going to call Drake a pedophile, because of the fact that Drake is probably closing in on a pedophile.
He had
he shouldn't have been texting Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Allegedly, he's allegedly a pedophile. So that's why. But like. Without that, I don't know what people are going to really be talking about Bad Bunny other than like, he'll probably come dressed as a woman. So there's that,
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Maybe
I don't know, man.
Have like a bunch of guys in ponchos dancing around for the ICE agents.
Well,
Cause confusion.
That is true here. Did you see this?
Oh, no.
White House advisor says ICE agents will attend the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show and they will deport you.
That's hilarious.
That they took the time to respond here?
No, not that they took their time to respond, that they're actually going to be there looking to deport people.
Corey, is it Lewandowski?
Yes, Corey.
Okay,
Corey
Lewandowski. An advisor at the Department of Homeland Security said that the immigrations and custom enforcement agents will be present on the day of the Super Bowl after the NFL selected staunchly Puerto Rican singer Bad Bunny, an outspoken critic of ICE, to lead the halftime show. As I said the other day, it was absolutely a political decision. They picked somebody who's against ICE and stopped doing shows in America for a reason. But, oh my gosh, it's all so tiresome.
How do you staunchly be a race? I don't think that's the right word there.
It's like, well, can I be staunchly American, I guess?
Maybe.
You can be staunchly pro-America.
It just doesn't seem like proper English.
It's like, I know you can be overwhelmed. I know you can be underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed?
That's a great question. We need to figure this one out.
It's from a movie. It's from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh.
And then she says, I think you can in Europe. So
I think you can in Europe. Perfect.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments, guys. Are you going to be watching the Super Bowl, or did Bad Bunny scare you off? I would be interested to know.
Look, whether or not I watch the Super Bowl and pay close attention always boils down to who is in the Super Bowl. That's it. Who's playing the game? Because all of the stuff surrounding the Super Bowl is all superfluous. The game is why I watch the Super Bowl if I'm watching the Super Bowl.
It's like because you're a dude. It's the girls who are like, I just hope both teams have fun.
Yeah.
The girls and the gays.
Yes. All right. Let's move on. We got a bunch of stuff to get into. See, I'm going to keep doing it. It's my version of Tim's. Let's jump into the next topic.
Hour and 15 minutes into the show.
And not even that, we got a bunch of stuff to get into. We literally only have one topic left, so I'm not even telling the truth. That's the worst part. All right, guys, let's move on. So Taylor Swift, like we were just talking about, she was apparently up for the idea of going to the Super Bowl and performing, but she wanted control over, she wanted to own the rights to her performance, and she wanted to be able to drop 1 million ads in there for her new album, Life of a Showgirl. And what we're learning right now is she actually has a movie coming out to correspond with the release of the new album, which drops Friday night at midnight. The craziest part being that Target is doing a midnight release at like 550 stores. Can you, I don't even remember the last time midnight releases were a thing. Was it like when the Xbox 360 came out?
Last one I remember being big was Skyrim in November of 2012. And that was the last one I remember people were actually like excited to go to.
The last one I paid attention to was when Halo 3 came out, and I was in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. We played a show.
We talked about it.
Yeah, and after the show, me and like 30 people from the show walked to the nearest GameStop and bought the.
Oh, that's sick.
About the.
Were you excited to meet Marty?
Yes, I was very excited.
I knew, so I knew that it was a big one because Ian was like, "I'll do fifth chair tonight," because everybody wanted to meet Marty and talk about Halo.
Yeah.
So life of the show.
He did the Flintstones kid.
Yes.
You know,
he was like,
yeah, you were there. So,
I was there. So Life of a Showgirl drops on Friday night at midnight. Target is doing limited release. 550 stores are going to be doing midnight releases for the album, and what is going to come out with it is an 89-minute movie called Release Party of a Showgirl, and that is going to be a music video with behind-the-scenes footage. The precedent for this is that the Eras Tour movie made them $261 million. It opened to $90 million domestically, like $30 million overseas. That's like $125 million globally. And this movie here is looking to open to $35 to $40 million, which doesn't sound like a lot, but to the theaters, this matters a huge amount because this was just announced and just planned. Like, obviously the movie had been planned ahead, but they didn't even have this on their docket. It has been added to their docket now, so they're looking at $35 to $40 million they wouldn't have been making beforehand. And I guess I just thought about, we talk pretty extensively, or at least I do, about the idea of whether superhero fatigue is even a real thing. Is it just that people are upset with the lack of good storytelling these days? Would superhero movies explode once again once they pick back up? I think there is some sort of superhero fatigue because I think that trends tend to have about 10 years of shelf life. You know, your westerns, your crime thrillers of a particular genre, they go in waves and then it's just never the same again. One of the questions that I got asked a lot yesterday was, do you think Marvel will ever be returned to its former glory? I said no, because you can't go home again. I don't think that you can recapture that magic because it was representative of a particular space in time, which started before we got, like, just around the time you got your phone in your pocket in like 2012 with like the first Avengers movie, and came to pass in 2019 just before the end of Trump's first term in office. That was a very big, like, a lot of cultural events happened in that time period, and in Hollywood since COVID just hasn't been able to produce for the box office the way that they used to in years past. Now, the people in Hollywood will blame the pandemic. People got out of the habit of going and they just never went back. They realized they didn't need it and they don't need to go anymore. But what we're seeing lately is that the things that are surprising people at the box office and bringing viewers in that they didn't understand were even possible were not the people going to see the superhero movies. It's not the people going to see necessarily even just the Christopher Nolan movies. It's the likes of a Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie, or even K-pop Demon Hunters, which made like 19 or 20 million dollars over just a 2-day special release, which nobody saw coming, and then went on to become Netflix's most watched movie ever. And that's crazy because people ask, are superheroes done? I say yes. Manga, anime, those adaptations along with video game adaptations are where I think that the next wave of the industry is going to go if they want to get younger kids to go to the theaters. You could ask Mary, she doesn't want to go see superheroes. She doesn't care. She doesn't even necessarily care about video game movies. But if you want to get Gen Z to go to the theaters, what was the biggest movie of the year this year? Minecraft was the biggest movie of the year this year. So you get the older millennial, or would that be the younger millennials and the older Gen Z to go to a film like that. And with entertainment being as decentralized as it is, you need to start finding other avenues, whether it's Taylor Swift documentary movies, whether it's things like Fathom Events. Do you guys know what Fathom Events are?
No.
Okay, so Fathom Events does a lot of like re-releases of movies in theaters where they get them.
Oh, yeah.
So like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did a re-release this year. They incrementally do it with Star Wars movies.
I did
a lot of time with what?
Star Trek.
With Star Trek, yeah. I was gonna say usually corresponding with anniversaries.
Yeah, it was.
If I was Marvel, right now, the first thing I would start doing is start re-releasing those early Marvel movies as Fathom Events next year. What was it? When was Iron Man? 2008. So that's coming up. Plan that one for 2008, and then you start, from 2028 to 2032, you can start releasing movies all the way through phase one. And special engagements, they have a lot of faith-based films. The box office is up like 3.7% from 2024. And Warner Brothers was the first studio to hit $4 billion this year. But it didn't do it with like big budget superhero movies. It had one. It had Superman, which made less money than Minecraft and made less money than F1. And F1 was my favorite movie of the year this year. The rest of it was Conjuring, Sinners, Final Destination, and Weapons. Horror movies make them more money and cost less to make. Like, I know that you guys aren't necessarily theater guys, but is there something, like, have you been to a movie theater in the last couple of years?
What was that movie? The Thunderbolts, the new Avenger. I don't know.
So it's like with people at work.
Yeah,
Is there like I mentioned, like, so you've got like Demon Slayer was really big. Infinity Castle did like $70 million in its opening. Like, is there a genre like manga or anime that would get you out to go watch movies in the theater again? Because you're younger, right?
Yeah. I'd go for like grittier like war movies, like if like another like
1917.
Yeah, one of those came out, or like, you know, something along the lines of Saving Private Ryan or something like that. Yeah, sure.
Something
or
like
an alien movie. Like,
I mean, that
another
seems
Alien,
to be...
like Alien the.
Well, genre-wise, science fiction, extraterrestrial life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you watching Alien Earth?
I tried. I was a little too inebriated to understand it, and I can't seem to find myself sober enough to want to watch it.
Yeah, okay. Phil, is there a genre that would do?
I would love a. So you've seen Zero Dark 30, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Give me a movie that's like the last 20 minutes of Zero Dark 30, like the raid part, but extend it into like, you know, like 2 hours and then like, or like an hour and a half and then like an hour of like good story to tie it together. But like, I would be extremely interested in watching like.
Did you see 13 Hours?
Yes, I thought it was good.
13 Hours was great.
I like it. But yeah, like stuff like that, like realistic, modern warfare kind of stuff. Not like, I'm not trying to say like Call of Duty, I'm saying, but like something that's realistic about like, you know, probably stuff like you would see in like Terminal List, I assume, or the Navy SEALs TV show, but like with a better story.
Did you watch SEAL Team?
Haven't got. What do you mean?
SEAL Team?
No, I haven't.
Did you watch The Unit?
No. Is the Unit about?
The Unit was it was based on the book like Inside Delta Force.
Oh, really?
It's from a while back. We're talking like the early 2000, like 2009.
A lot of times I feel like the stories of those kind of shows are kind of crappy. But if you give me stuff like that, like actually good story in that, like with that kind of topic or like, you know, that kind of feel, because Zero Dark 30, like, I know that it's not perfectly accurate, but it was really cool. Yeah. Like especially like I said, the raid was super cool.
Do you see Argo?
I have not. No.
Okay, Argo's really good. Warfare was a very popular movie from A24 this year. I'm not going to hold that against
I saw
them.
that was where they're stuck in a building and they're just waiting for extraction.
Yep.
It was cool. That was cool. It was cool that they didn't have any music in it.
Yeah.
That was cool, you know. But yeah, so that kind of stuff is good.
There was a movie in what was it? The Guy Ritchie one, The Covenant in 2021. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I think that was 2021. I could be off about that. But yeah, that's a genre that I like as well. Oddly enough, I like those more in television format. I tend to like those more as TV shows than movies. But I think that's just because most of them, it's less about individual missions and more about, you know, inner workings within like whatever unit that they're serving in. So that's just me. But look, if you're going to get Gen Z, you're going to have to start making the animes and not live action, for God's sakes.
Oh God, no.
Don't do the live action thing. Just find really, really good people to start producing full-length manga adaptations and anime adaptations that are actually good and not ones that everybody scoffs at, because that's where the next generation is. I was reading this story about this domestic violence story about a woman I mentioned it yesterday. I forget her name from TNA, and she was with this guy. She was allegedly screenshots were revealed and everything. She was allegedly abusive to like a boyfriend who was also a wrestler, and his name was Akira. And somebody was talking about, he's like, if I hadn't known that this guy was 30, I would have made fun of this guy for having a name that's supposed to appeal to the kids, because we know that Akira is supposed to appeal now to younger, Gen Z or even Gen Alpha for stuff like that. So manga, anime, video game adaptations that don't suck. Mortal Kombat 2 better be good. This, I guess that's next year now. It got pushed to next year. I want that one to be good. Everyone's do it. And then make the Fortnite movie. I mentioned that yesterday. They're leaving money on the table by not making a Fortnite movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you watch that one?
Oh, God, no. No, video game movies have been like across my entire life have been the one genre of movie that's like, oh yeah, no, a video game movie that sucks. That's going to be bad. Assassin's Creed, Tomb Raider.
Okay, the original Tomb Raider is a masterpiece. Don't let him. You're talking about the 2018 one?
Yeah.
Okay, the 2001 Angelina Jolie Tomb
boobs
Raider
were too round.
is a what?
Yeah, I like them triangle.
Boobs were way too round. They should have put triangles on her chest.
They should have just given her like party hats.
Pyramids.
Yep.
But the point is, that movie is fantastic. The 1995 Mortal Kombat movie is fantastic.
Oh no, the greatest one was the Super Mario Brothers movies from the 90s.
Yep. Or I guess that's not a video. Spawn. I almost said Spawn. Spawn's not a video game movie. But yes, the original.
I think that's more for meme value. Let's be honest.
Well,
it wasn't
not
a
because
good
it's
movie.
good, but
yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 was great, and Tomb Raider was great, but most of them, they don't hold up. But there's stronger evidence now that they're at least doing better. I love the Twisted Metal TV series.
Yeah.
And I never played the games. Like, I didn't have a PlayStation. I had an N64. I didn't have a PlayStation until PlayStation 2. So I didn't play Twisted Metal. And that TV show was great.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to Super Chats then, guys. We will get
Super
through
Chats
them.
time.
Super Chats. All the way up top here. All right. Got it here. Corey Anderson says, meanwhile, swerve to the bird. Is that like a reference? I'm missing
No
or
idea.
something? Like, half the time, I just think they're making references that I don't understand. Corey Anderson says, top 5 movies: The Life Aquatic, Goonies, The Departed, Shooter, and Blazing Saddles. Do you guys have top 5 favorite movies? I listed mine yesterday. I'd be interested to hear.
Top 5?
Yeah, 5.
I don't know. Temple of Doom. I mean, Ghostbusters.
Original Ghostbusters is classic. That one never comes up in my list, but I love the original Ghostbusters.
Empire.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. Probably Iron Man. That was great. And I don't know. There's just so many great movies.
This right here is why I had to do like the Q&A and like make a list beforehand, because I'm like, oh, I'll remember, and then I can't think of it in the moment.
No. Probably maybe Aliens. I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
There you go. 5?
Terminator might be in there too.
1 or 2?
I would go with 1.
Oh,
because of my
man, after my own heart.
Yeah.
I really
T1.
thought it was great. Yeah, I mean, look, I could go through a lot of movies here, you know.
When I get I don't get sick very often, but if you ever get sick and have fever dreams, I've had like a fever dream where in my mind while I'm sleeping, I'm hearing the score from that really unsettling score from the original Terminator. Oh, it's creepy. Do you got 5 movies?
All right. Empire, Aliens, Big Lebowski,
Great movie, yeah.
Pulp Fiction, and Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan is great.
There you go. Shane H. Wilder says, happy Thrashin' Thursday, Brett and Phil. Great work traversing the minefield of questions yesterday, Brett. For an hour show, it sure felt like 2 hours. Yeah, it was 2 hours. It didn't go an hour. It went 2 hours. I thought it was going to be an hour. I was actually kind of like, after we had the tech issues on Monday, I'm like, well, then maybe I'll keep it to an hour in case the stream cuts out again. I don't want that to happen. But thank you, and it was a lot of fun. And Alex was great helping out. She helped me stay organized, read all the questions, everything. We're definitely gonna have her back on here when she's really busy and she's got like infinite levels of work to do. Weary Traveler says, Phil, do you have a response?
Just hi.
Just
hi.
hello.
I'm wondering if now, like, this is like the second time that he's done that, right? Where he's just done a super chat directly at me, just saying me. I feel like he's taunting me.
Oh yeah.
Grab some Rumble Rants here. We had one over here. I don't know how to read this name. It looks Spruel. I have no idea. I apologize. Don't worry. Everybody gets my name wrong whenever I'm doing other people's streams, so I can't feel very bad. I never get mad at other people.
Keel Dixon has a $20.
But this was a 20 over on Rumble. It says Phil should join in on the Super Bowl show that Turning Point USA was talking about last night on IRL. Congrats on the baby, Phil.
Thank you very
Love
much.
the show.
Thank you.
Was he born?
What?
Was he born yet?
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Hold, please. It's very hard to hear.
Get up on the mic and I might be able to hear you.
Oh wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Was he born?
No. He's not yet. He's still cooking.
All right.
So, I figure he's probably going to come at the end of the month. He's due on the 22nd.
Yeah.
You know, she's ready because
Hold, please. Sorry. It's...
Okay.
There we go.
He's big enough where now she's just like, I'm never comfortable. I can't wait for him to come out. I'm like, yeah, I feel you, babe. So,
what is read the Kyle Dixon one? Okay,
Kyle Dixon says Ghostbusters is a libertarian masterpiece. Regulations and the EPA are the bad guys. That is actually not a libertarian masterpiece. It is just a true story.
And Peck is just an absolute scumbag.
Yes,
and smart. Like, that guy should have put on his acting resume, smarmy. Like, excellent at being smarmy.
He is. He is
was
very,
so
very
great
smarmy.
at like, it was to the point where, like, and it's like, I don't remember. Did he come back in? I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife and I saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I loved Afterlife. Frozen Empire was just okay. Did Peck come back? And if he did, I bet you he doesn't work, because that level of smarmy only works when you're young. Old smarmy like that, you're just like, get away from me, old person. Young smarmy is
Go
different.
back to the nursing home, Grandpa.
Serious, like that, and be forced to listen to that lady from that song.
Yeah.
That's what we would do to Peck if we could.
I agree.
All right.
We should do that to Jane Fonda.
To the nursing home with you, Jane. A nursing home in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder says, damn, I didn't see Andrew in the show notes. My bad, homie. He's in there.
I'm here.
Greg Duvier says, the worst part of being in a union is you don't get the choice to join. You get hired and forced to join, forced to pay, just like income tax. Phil?
Yes. Yeah, it's true. I like the first time I had any kind of experience about a union, right? Like I have never actually been a member of a union, but I was a bagger at Big Y supermarkets, right?
Okay.
And I think I was making, this is my second job, so I'm making like $4.25 an hour or whatever. This is back in like the early 90s, no, the late 80s, and maybe it was the early 90s. Either way, point being, I'm like, they were like doing the vote as to whether we were going to have a union come in. And I was like, well, what happens if a union comes in? They're like, well, you have to pay union dues. I'm like, I don't make any money as it is. How do I? They were like, it was like $12 a week or whatever, something, you know, and you're making, like I said, you're making $4 an hour. I'm like, I don't want to give them any money. What are they going to do for me? Well, they're going to get you better pay. I'm like, I'm a bagger. Yeah. You know, like I'm they called it service
I have the
clerk.
opposite of leverage.
Yeah, all I do is sweep, go out in the winter or go out and collect carts regardless of the weather in New England, mind you. You know, and it's just like, I don't want anything to do with that. I just want to keep my money because the government's going to take money because they have to pay taxes and stuff. It was not a very good first impression.
That was my first job, was pushing carts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually liked that job. I mean, so much as you can.
I wasn't a service clerk for very long. I bagged for a little while, but then I went to grocery and started stocking shelves, and I felt like that was like a raise.
I missed a second 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. I apologize, my friend. He says, I have a mini floppy disk with Photoshop 1.5 on it. Ran on my Mac 128. I told you I was old.
Now, if you still have the Mac 128, that's real shit right there.
They'll never
Indeed.
explain how David introduced a virus into a computer mainframe in Independence Day on like a MacBook in 1995. It's like, I don't know how computer viruses work. I know they don't work that way.
Yeah.
Are they on the same Wi-Fi network?
I don't know if Wi-Fi was invented.
Was Wi-Fi around it? I don't think it was around in 90. Somebody let me know. When was Wi-Fi? Is that one of those DARPA creations that they created to
definitely.
like destroy some other country somehow? Everything we have was created by DARPA.
Yeah.
That's my conspiracy theory.
Mostly. Everything worthwhile was created by
DARPA. Go watch Independence Day. It's fantastic.
Great movie.
All right, where was I here? Greg Duvier says McCarthyism didn't go hard enough.
Yes, that is true.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil and I have been saying this on Twitter for the past 5 days.
Yeah. At least, yeah. 100%.
All right, Boris Kofifiovich.
Give me a second.
The Red Scare was just another psyop. They did not. I'm gonna read it again. The Red Scare was just another psyop. They did not just recently start lying to the public. It has been almost a century of commie propaganda. Folks that see it today think it's recent. Nope.
Yep.
Thank you, Kofifievich.
But
It is.
Who start lying recently? I'm kind of.
He's saying they did not start lying recently. He's saying they've been lying the whole time.
Well, yeah, no shit. That's why it didn't go far enough.
It has been going on. It has gotten far more intense since about the 90s when, like I said, the communists really took over the schools of education. There used to be like a fight, or at least pushback from people on the right. There used to be people that were conservatives that were college professors. There used to be people that were conservatives that had influence about like what kind of curriculum was used in schools. But all that has changed since the communists took over the schools of education. Once they got that, then they just started, first of all, teaching all the teachers from a left-wing perspective. And again, it's like I said, Paulo Freire, the pedagogy of it. I forget what the name of the book is. But Paulo Freire had a massive influence on the books and the way that people are educated and how they teach kids and what they teach kids. And then also the teachers that get hired, you're not getting hired if you're a conservative in any kind of school. So like all of your kindergarten through 12th grade, like all of those teachers are at least accepting of Marxist-based education. So that's why, like I'm going to homeschool my kid. I ain't putting my kid in that car crap.
All right. Adobe Kenobi on Rumble says, as I said yesterday or 2 days ago, I was like, that's a fantastic username. Got here after my episode of Insight with CVV. So in reference to that, what are 3 things you're grateful for? CVV is Chris Van Vliet. He's a wrestling interviewer. And at the end of every interview, he asks the guy he's interviewing, like, what are 3 things that you're grateful for? So what are 3 things you gentlemen are grateful for?
My girlfriend, the baby in her belly, and the fact that I have enough financial success where I'm not scrambling to pay the bills, and
Yeah.
So that's great.
Nice. Other than my family, like I'm not really too sure because it's one of those questions where it's like I get asked it and I'm like, oh shit. This is probably a bigger tell on myself, but like, having getting the opportunity here so that I could have dropped out of school and not have my civil rights violated every chance I turned.
Yeah.
That was a nice change. Really, it's just family and money.
Yeah. As for me, my wife, my job, and all of you, I'm grateful for all of you. Is this JL James on Rumble for 20 says, thanks, Brett, for shouting out Honey. I feel like part of the family now. Everybody wants their pets featured on Q to the Day because everybody likes to brag about their pets. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Broody Gambit says, did you ever see Free Fire? Action comedy that, after a little bit of setup, became a real-time firefight between a group of gangs at an arms deal. I enjoyed it a lot for the ridiculous premise. I did not see that. That sounds cool, though.
Write that down.
That sounds cool, though.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
All right. I still can't get over Kofifievich.
Yeah.
All right. Shane H. Wilder says Blu-ray players are also relatively cheap. The Ritual with Al Pacino just came out and cost me less than $20. He said less than that $20 super chat. Yeah, like I said, if it wasn't for having to get up and put the disc in every time. See, the thing is, and Olivia will confirm, I just go from show to show to show to show. I don't finish an episode. I move around. I'm very... My ability to focus has been completely destroyed by the internet.
Yeah.
My already short attention span was...
You don't finish shows?
Well, okay, so I will... If there's like 8 episodes in a show, and it's 7, and I'm 7 episodes and 30 minutes into a... I'll just turn it off if I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have any sense of completionism. What I'm saying is, like, I'll be in the middle of an episode and I'll be like, I don't want to watch this anymore, and I'll turn it off and put something else on.
Yeah.
I don't, like, when we have our shows that we watch together, I won't do that because, like, I'm being cognizant of her and I don't want to ruin it for her.
You're married, we get it.
It's not fair to her to do that, but if she's not there, I'm like, boring. A show I've seen 10 times, I'm like, maybe this one will be interesting today. Here's the thing. Maybe that day it won't, but a month from now, it might actually be something I'll sit and watch again.
That happens every time I try to watch Alien Earth. I'm just like,
it just doesn't sit with you? Yeah. All right. Corey Anderson says, don't support communists, Brett. He says, don't support communists, Brett. Screw movies. See what I said earlier? They're like, you can't like anything. They're all communists. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's the same thing as the left is doing with fascism, so check yourself, boy.
Pop Culture Junkie says, you missed my $20 super chat. I did go back up there. Shane H. Wilder says, armadillos are cute, but they carry leprosy.
That's the cutest part.
It's the threat.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What, that leprosy's cute?
No, that they can transmit leprosy.
I thought that was like a myth.
No, well, I don't know. It could be a myth, but I'm under the understanding that it's true. So.
Shane H. Wilder says, halftime show with Creed, Saliva, and All That Remains.
Sure, I'm into it. I'd be down.
Exploding Prinny says, going to see Good Boy tonight. I've been assured that the dog survives. If they've lied to me, there will be hell to pay, dude. I saw pictures for that movie, but I did not see any trailers or anything for it, but I did see some images for it. Dr. Larsena says, if you're targeting a football demographic, Bad Bunny's fan base is objectively not aiming for center mass. Soccer or baseball might have made more sense. Yeah. Yep, that's true. What? Scorebosh Kulyankov? Go back to Russia.
Yeah, what's with all these Russians?
For Carl. Is that Putin? Did Putin send that?
I don't know, but this one's for you, Carl.
Yeah. Jim Kimball says, we've got Labonte Pythons PCC for a week, but at what cost? In Phil's, is it Kettle Scream? He says, in Phil's Kettle Scream, sure. At what cost?
I don't know what a kettle scream is.
It's a metal scream.
I think you meant
fat
metal.
finger the K.
Oops. Yes, there you go. That's true. At what cost?
Corey Anderson says, did you see that video of an actress that got her scene replaced by Hawk Tuah because she didn't have a big enough social media following? I did, and we will be talking about that on this show tomorrow. So you should stay tuned for that.
Yes, make sure
there's actually a lot of precedent for that type of thing in Hollywood. I tweeted about it last night. I was like, this is what happens. Look, South Park can make pop culture references because the turnover time is like non-existent. Which is why I don't buy that whole, we just didn't finish an episode this week. Guess we gotta wait till next week. Bullshit. But when you're a television show that has long turnover, first of all, even the Cybertruck that he's driving is a little bit dated in its reference to douchebaggery. But Hawk Tuah might as well be 2005.
Yeah.
At the speed the internet moves.
That video did actually make my day.
He calls her Haley Tua. She goes, my name's Haley. Like, that's my human name. He goes, we've got Haley Tua. She goes, that's not my name. And I just was like, ugh. It's one of those shows where every character's awful. I mean, that's not funny. Like, they're all bad people except for like the women who are mistreated. Like the one woman that I saw that was like mistreated by a guy, but there's every possibility that she'll end up being awful later too. But I don't like shows where every character just feels like an irredeemable prick.
There was a show like that on Hulu a while back that I had that thought of. It was like, oh no, this is just a show of people doing bad things and getting hurt for it. You know, why am I cheering this on?
Yeah. They deserve it. They're bad people. Corey Anderson says, make a live action of One Piece so it sucks and people start hating One Piece. Anime is lame except for Ninja Scroll.
I've never watched One Piece and I don't want to watch it.
Are you an anime fan or just a One Piece fan?
An anime fan. I actually don't like One Piece. Parasite. That's the biggest one.
Do you see what I mean when I said, like, if you want to appeal to Gen Z, you're going to have to make anime adaptations.
Yeah.
And then really screw them over and make it sub only, no dub.
See, that works for me because I watch sub only.
I have to do. I mean, because my hearing's so bad, I have to do dub and sub. It's horrible.
Do you still do the Japanese for the dub then?
I just no,
yeah, that's
I
what
do
you're saying.
English
Never mind.
and sub.
Yeah.
So dub and sub. And I don't watch a whole lot of. I watched more. I don't watch a lot of anime. I did have a phase where I was watching a couple of K-dramas that I found. They had some pretty interesting storytelling, but it's not something I go out of my way to find. All right. Shane H. Wilder says, the Unit was a great show, and the nonfiction book it's based on, Inside Delta Force, is a must-read. That was one of those ones where they spent too much time. I understand the point of the show was that it's about the lives of these operators and then their lives at home on base with their wives and families and making it work when you have a job that's insane and all of that stuff. But it's just too much time.
Yeah, there's not.
I don't care.
Shoot shit.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Where's Michael Bay when you need him?
Seriously, bro. But he gets referenced in Chad Powers because they want to tell you that Michael Bay is a douchebag. Well, you're wrong. Michael Bay rules.
Explosion sound effect.
Exactly.
That's actually
all movies should be Michael Mann, Michael Bay. That's it.
Just those two.
Just those two.
Except for Zack Snyder, they should do the Batfleck movie.
All right, well, have Michael Bay make it, and then we'll stuff. No, I'm saying they should. If you want to make a Batfleck movie, you have Zack Snyder hand it to Michael Bay. Corey Anderson says, "Swerve to the Bird" is from the song "Die Die Die" by Bone Thugs. Brett is acting a Bone Thugs fan, but doesn't know East 1990 Eternal. I love that album, but that lyric is not. That's not one of my favorite songs, but I do love that album. But Mo Murda. Gordon Shumway says, Phil, what you say about it? A movie about one of the missions in, is it Restrepo? Also, have you seen Rogue Hero? Is it Rouge Heroes or Rogue Heroes? I'm assuming it's Rogue Heroes.
So I've seen Restrepo, and that was a good show.
What was it about?
That was about an outpost in the Korengal Valley. There's a forward operating base. I think the forward operating base is actually called Restrepo.
Yeah.
And then the outposts are just like you get the forward operating base where they actually have cooks and stuff like that, and they have they have motor T's and stuff like that. But then they have the outposts, which are up on the hills surrounding the forward operating base, or actually up on the mountains. And it was about the guys that went up there and how they were.
How long ago was that made?
It's a book that came out.
So it's a book, not a movie or a show.
Well, it's a movie as well. Because he was doing. He went to Restrepo and he went and hung out on the. No, actually, no. The Restrepo was the outpost. I forget what the actual the fob was called, but they made a documentary I forget the guy. It might have been Sebastian Younger, I think was his name, but his cameraman actually died in the Libyan revolution or whatever. So Restrepo probably happened in the mid-aughts, and the movie came out probably 2012,
sure
13 or something like that.
I watched it in high school, like probably 2012.
Yeah, something like that. But it's a good, really good movie.
But apparently, Rogue Heroes, it's about the formation of the SAS and their missions during World War II.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like World War II stuff, but I also think that, like, modern stuff is cooler. Just because of, like, the technology and stuff that they have now. It's cooler.
Corey Anderson says, thank you. And Pop Culture Junkie says, you missed my $20 super chat. I got it, buddy. I went back through. Thank you, though. Corey Anderson said, let me go back up here. I think I missed a couple here. Yes. Oh, yes. Several I missed here. Hold, please. Sorry about missing your 20, though. I did read. Thank you.
There we go.
Where's the explosion?
This is the second one today, right? Third. Okay, we're good.
Hold the pose.
I think that's way better for me than dancing.
I was watching this thing the other day where, like, it was like Arnie talking about how, like, when they were making some documentary, he asked them to, like, slam the plates onto the barbell because it makes a sound and it's like
Clank.
intense, and put them on the barbell.
I love stuff like that. Like a lot of video games, like when they do like a sword hitting chainmail, they just break apart like a head of lettuce, and that creates the sound. So, they do something with carrots too.
That's what retrospectives are for, so you can learn stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I watched like a 4-hour video on the making of GoldenEye, the video game, and it was like, bro, they were just like in like a barn, making that game at that time. Like there's like nobody wanted to be making like a movie tie-in video game,
and it's one of the most iconic ever.
It is. I still play it to this day. All right, Shane H. Wilder says, top 5. I remember Mama, The Exorcist, Blazing Saddles, The Crow, and Airplane. Okay.
Those are all great movies, too.
All right. Vodka J. Bulls. Peck was mayor in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Yes! Yes! No mustache. I'm also haunted by the Terminator music. I forgot about that. Like that just proves you what everyone's slop these days. Like, I remember nothing from Frozen Empire, but Peck was a dick. I know that.
He was.
Yes, it's true. You're mayor. This man has no dick. But I don't blame you, man. That music was haunting in that film. Oscar Regalado says Black Hawk Down is another good movie.
Black Hawk Down is good. Yeah.
Corey Anderson says, as someone who has been in the military for over 20 years, the government would never lie to us. Ever, 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 ever. Never! Why would they do that?
True.
Look, I think the weapons of mass destruction are still there. I think we just missed them.
Technically, there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq because the United States gave chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein in the 80s. So there were weapons of mass destruction there.
Yeah, the one way to ensure they're there, plant them there.
Yeah, give them to them.
We give them to the Mujahideen?
No, I don't think we didn't give them to the Mujahideen, which, to be honest with you, that is very good that we didn't give them to the Mujahideen.
Pretty good idea.
Yeah. The U.S., the federal government's done some really stupid things, but giving chemical weapons to the Islamic radicals was not among them.
Look, did you see that picture of all the guns left in?
Oh yeah!
Oh my God!
I said,
"Give me some."
I forget what I posted. It was something really benign. I got and people started going crazy. It got like over 1 million views because of it, from just like saying something like "This is insane" or "Unreal."
I was like,
or something.
"Oh my God!"
I thought you said, "Give me some."
I mean, I would like them. 20-inch M16 superiority. Master race.
But as far as weapons of mass destruction, there'll be no Colin Powell slander on this podcast.
No. The Powell Doctrine is the correct way to execute a war, and the current batch of generals should have listened to Colin Powell. Like, you go to war with as much force as you possibly can and get it over with as fast as you can, so that way there is the least amount of suffering.
Instead, they listened to Dick Cheney.
Yeah, great idea.
Corey Anderson also adds, I am grateful for my family, my career, and tatas.
Well, you know.
Valid point.
Yeah.
All right. I missed this one from Alejandro Reyes. Says, I have just hopped on the stream, but have been wanting to ask Phil for a while. Hollywood Undead, yay or nay? I like them, but I'm very much a musical dunce.
Look, no one is a musical dunce. Right? You like what you like, and there's nothing wrong with liking what you like. I dig some of the stuff that Hollywood Undead has done. They're really cool guys. We've done some touring with them. Great guys. So, yeah, I got nothing bad to say about Hollywood Undead, whether it be musically or as people. So.
I will add, I agree. At least the first album, that was the one that I heard, and it was very indicative of, like, that time in the mid-2000s.
It just hits a different way.
Yeah, like, the amount of Jeffree Star references is enough to leave your head spinning.
He's still around too.
He is
he?
But I love the song Undead by Hollywood Undead. That song goes hard, but it's like, and that's outside of a genre that I would normally listen to, but like a little too close to ICP for my liking, if I'm being honest.
Listen, ICP is also very good, whether you like their music or not. They're extremely good for the community. They give a ton of money away. Like and as much as people like to make fun of them and they're the butt of jokes and stuff, because you know magnets, how do they work? So I understand.
I mean, that really was the early days of like memetics traveling in society, right? Magnets, how do they work?
But ICP does really, really good things for a lot of communities around Ohio. They give a lot of money away. They're another band that like they catch a lot of flack because there's a lot of people that think they're silly and stuff, but they're legit really good dudes. Every time they do the Gathering of the Juggalos, there's a boatload of people there that are all like there just to have a good time, and they're legit, like, mostly good people.
And you know what? That's an interesting point, because like, so there was this phase, not to go off on a tangent, but like, the internet has done something glorious for us, which is that back in the day, the mainstream like narrative would form, and then you wouldn't know why, but then suddenly everybody hates Creed, suddenly everybody hates Nickelback, and you don't know why. You're not sure. You don't even listen to their music, but everybody tells you that what they make is awful. And then 20 years go by and people come around, they're like, why did I even say that? It's not even necessarily that I like it, it's that I didn't even listen to it. It's just the way things worked, and that's how things were with ICP for a lot of people, was that they made fun of the idea of the Gathering of the Juggalos. And I knew a lot of people that were like that they hated on stuff just to hate on it. Like, I didn't listen to ICP, like, when I was like, I listened to the music enough to know that it wasn't for me, but when I said it's too close for ICP, I'm saying that it's just not my genre. But that was the thing, right? It was to just hate on a genre or a type of artist because that was what was cool, and the internet has largely made it so that now Creed is more culturally relevant than it was even 20 years ago in a lot of ways, and Nickelback doesn't get the hate that it used to because people are like, look, I like what I like, bite me.
Yep. Well, because Bad Bunny is around.
And you can hate on Bad Bunny if you want. Just, don't call ice on them.
No, that's the wrong move.
Totally.
You should totally call ice on them.
Weary Traveler says, I am simply a Phil stan and just want his attention, but not in a gay way.
Cheers. We love you. We love you, Weary Traveler.
High Voltage 75 says, Phil, what do you think you're doing what do you think you'd be doing if your music career had never worked out? Did you have an alternate passion or interest?
Retail.
I mean,
after alternate passion or interest, retail
I wouldn't say that it was an alternate. Look, it is possible that I would, have started some kind of YouTube channel or something like that and talked about politics, because it's something that I was, I've always been interested in. But I don't know how successful it would have been. But and the reason I probably would have started it much earlier than obviously getting into it here. Like, there was a long time where I was like, I don't want to do that stuff because of the band, because of the other guys in the band have different political opinions and stuff. So I might have started it earlier, and maybe I would be doing something on YouTube or something like that. So it could be that I would be in a similar position.
You just end up right back here.
Yeah, you know, in a similar position to what I am now. Because I spent a lot of time in the aughts arguing on message boards before there was even Twitter to argue on. Yeah. I would get on message boards like lambgoat.com, which is a metal and hardcore website, or the Metal Maniacs board. I would get up there and get on there and talk about politics and argue with other metalheads about politics. So
as for me, if this job, if one day this job goes away, I'll just be working at Amazon or something, like delivering stuff to people, I'm sure. That'll be what I do next. All right. Pop Culture Junkie says One Piece, best live action show on Netflix, period. I know people have said that they really like. It's the rare example of a live action adaptation that people really, really enjoy. Weary Traveler says top 5 animes. Is it Inuyasha, Ghost in the Shell, Tokyo Ghoul, Death Note, and another?
I would say something that's probably like abhorrent to most anime fans, but I would put Robotech in there. That was the thing that I was into when I was a kid.
All right, Corey Anderson. The best TV show ever is Jag. It's the reason I joined. Unfortunately, lawyers do not get to run around using guns, though. He said do get to run around, but I think he meant do not. You know my love of original NCIS, which is, of course, a spin-off of Jag. I got through about 7 episodes of Jag, and I was just like...
Wait, NCIS is a spin-off of Jag? Hmm? Learn something new every day, guys.
Yep. Learn something new.
Both made by Donald Belisario. Pop Culture Junkie says there was a second super chat that you missed about AMC and Taylor Swift. I did.
American Movie Classics?
If it's there, I'm not seeing it, my friend. Hold on.
Such American Movie Classics as The Walking Dead or Breaking Bad.
Correct.
Yeah.
If I missed it, I am really sorry, but I don't see it right here on my... Where is it?
Go down a little bit.
Oh, yep, here it is. It was a 20. Okay. My apologies again. What is odd about the Taylor Swift release is that it's being distributed by AMC, and they are distributing it to all the other their other distributor competitors. Regal, Cinemark, movie studios don't know what to think. Well, that's interesting.
Since the meme, I think it's purely like the guy who is in charge of AMC realized it's like, you know what? After someone or like the entire retail market shorted our stocks, maybe we should, branch out into not just movie theaters to make money if we want to keep our jobs.
They need to work on it. They got a lot to do. Sorry about missing that one, Pop Culture Junkie. Corey Anderson says, Phil, what do you think about the movie Jarhead? I never saw that. That's what
I saw it once, and honestly, it wasn't particularly memorable. So I don't think about it much, I guess.
Corey Anderson says, Hail Mary, full of grace, punch the devil in the face, break Brett. Has Mary watched the show while gone, planning on Brett's demise? I don't think she's watched the show while I'm gone. Maybe planning violence, but I can't confirm that.
I hope not.
Not that John Stewart says, sup.
Sup.
Corey Anderson says, enjoying the things the Lord has created is good. The Lord created women. I will appreciate them till the day I die. Their bodies are beautiful. Amen. Gordon Shumway says, one of the funniest memes I ever saw was the Kiss Army of just boomer juggalos. Yeah. They do that where they insert like a band and they put like another band name at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah. The Manic Mustache says, late as usual, but apropos to child rearing, because I watch TV with my 27-year-old daughter, my newborn baby boy will never watch SpongeBob. Stay toxic, my friends.
I have a feeling my girlfriend's going to put SpongeBob on for my son.
Okay.
She still mentions how much of a big fan she is of SpongeBob.
I mean, SpongeBob slap, dude.
Okay.
No Control says, everyone just went doot, 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 doot. Pop Culture Junkie says, AMC's Swift strategy, bypass the middleman. Yeah, that does seem to be about the fact of the matter for them. So, all right. Guys, before we go, would you all hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel? If you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already, please and thank you. I also want to say thank you to you guys over on Rumble. We did pass 15K over there.
Yeah.
15,000 subscribers. That's no mean feat considering we just started like not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things where we put it off for so long. I was like, we're just not going to do it. But thank you guys all so much for subscribing over there. Thanks you to everyone on YouTube. And Phil, thank you.
Thank you very much. You can follow me on Twix. I am at Phil That Remains. The band is All That Remains, and we've got some shows coming up next year. We're starting with just announced the Louder Than Life Festival down in Daytona Beach, Florida. There'll be a bunch of shows around that, so we'll be on tour in May, so keep an eye out for that. The band is All That Remains. You can check us out on YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, and Deezer. Don't forget, The Left Lane is for Crime.
Andrew.
I'm Andrew. I'm here. That's about it.
That's about it.
I mean, I don't go on tour, you know. Hey.
All right, guys, if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. We are here 5 days a week, guys, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which you guys know is noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch the show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which is another great way to help the channel out. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at PopCulture_show, Facebook at PopCulture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.